Once again, race fans, if you're walking by Echo Park, come on in. We got Trackside Live, hosted by Jose Castillo, coming up just minutes away. Our first driver you don't want to miss. Texas Motor Speedway. Things are always bigger in Texas, and we're going to prove that coming to you live. Trackside Live. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your host of Trackside Live. Give it up for Jose Castillo, the man with the ultimate game plan.
Texas Motor Speedway, welcome to NASCAR Trackside Live. How are y'all doing? Are y'all having a good day? Oh, man, it's a beautiful day here in Texas. We've got an amazing show for you. We got Zane Smith, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gregson, Mark Faber joining us, but our first guest, if you would please help me welcome to the stage, driver of the number 9. Let's give it up for Chase Elliott. Welcome in, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, so great to have you here. We got the bar and everything. We're in Texas, so it seems like we should just kind of sidle up to the bar and have some fun.
There's nothing back here, by the way.
No. We don't have a lot of bottles or anything back here.
I see that, yeah.
We do probably need to kit that out a little bit.
You should work on that. Not for us, but
right.
for
other
you.
people. For fans,
yeah,
right?
For fans. Yeah.
So Texas Motor Speedway, man, we're here, I think, at probably the perfect time of year. This just feels like an amazing day to go racing. What do you think about the weather and the turnout here?
Yeah, no, it's been great. It can be brutally hot here in the summer, and we came out here one year. It hadn't been that long ago, maybe like 2 years ago, and I don't know what month. Brutal. Like, I'm talking, made me not want to come back ever. So yeah, this is a nice change of pace. Yesterday was even better than today. So, but evidently that's abnormal for even this time of year. So sorry for those of you that have to endure the summer months here out in beautiful Texas, and we'll be wishing you the best from back home.
So talking about Texas Motor Speedway and coming here, it seems like the fan base here at Texas is something special. I don't know what is it? Is it the Texas water? What is it? I don't know. It's something, but I love seeing it's cowboy hats, cowboy boots. It's, people having a great time. A lot of people camping out inside, outside the track. What are some of your thoughts when you come to Texas? Do you get a chance to go do anything fun when you're out here and run around?
Not this weekend for sure. Been really busy this week. This is Napa's 100th anniversary weekend, so we've had a lot of different Napa things going on in celebration of that, which is a really big deal. They've meant a lot to my career, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, and been kind of reflecting on that all weekend, which has been really cool. We'll have a beautiful looking race car for the race today, and excited to kind of see what we can do today. Would love to have a good run for them. This is a big weekend for them, and looking forward to that. But no, it's been all business this week, so maybe next trip.
I like the gold though. Do you guys like the gold paint scheme?
Yeah.
That's a sharp look. And I know a lot of times that's out of your control. You're just like, hey, I drive the car, somebody else designs it. But do you ever walk up to a paint scheme and just kind of go, man, I kind of like that?
I do, yeah, for sure. I mean, even last week, Prime was on the car at Talladega, and they've got a few races coming up, promoting the summer races being on Prime, obviously. And they did a great job. And much like the Napa scheme this weekend, I think they did a great job. I love the white Napa scheme that we run every now and again. I've lobbied to make that our normal scheme, which obviously has not worked.
We need some letters written in. I think that's what we're looking for.
Maybe next time, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, for sure, there's been some great ones. They've done a good job this year. I think we have some good schemes, and hopefully we keep that going.
So let's talk about a year ago, Texas Motor Speedway, the win here. You got the cowboy hat, got the trophy, got the skull, which that was a cool thing. I don't know. Where does the skull live? I could imagine the trophies, like with the trophies, the hat's probably in the closet, but where do you hang a giant skull of a longhorn?
They're all together.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they all stay together. they used to give out the guns, which I thought was really cool, and then now we don't do that anymore. So, but I think it's good, good replacement to have, and yeah, I'd love to have another one for sure. Be a good day to do it.
I think 2 of those right on the wall would look pretty good. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the cowboy hat, because not only do you get the cowboy hat, according to Texas Motor Speedway, you become an honorary Texan when you win the race here.
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted.
Yes.
That's exciting. No, I didn't know that. I didn't get a letter in the mail or anything.
There was no notification for that?
There was no notification. So I guess maybe you have to win more than once to do it. So I don't know. But
yeah, is there like a statute of limitation where it's like you're a Texan until you win the next one?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. So, but as of now, I've not received my letter. So we'll see.
We're gonna have to work on that. Would you guys like to see another honorary Texan win today with Chase Elliott? That'd be pretty cool. I want to talk about some of the fun merch that happens, and I was talking with Chase backstage, and they have a really cool hat they've just launched in his store that has the sugar skull on it. And of course, it's May the 4th today, but Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. And I was like, man, that's really cool. And then I remembered you got to go to Mexico and like eat tacos and hang out with Mexican wrestlers. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, we went. It's probably been a month or maybe 2 ago. Been a little while back, but. Yeah, basically went down there to help promote the race. Obviously, we're going to Mexico City here coming up in a month or two, and I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest. I was excited. Daniel Suarez was with us, which was great because he could kind of show us around and just kind of show you what Mexico City was about, right? He's extremely familiar with the area, and it helped with the language barrier because that can be a problem, right? And when you go places, so really nice to have him. And I was pleasantly surprised. There was a few things about Mexico City. One, the weather's beautiful. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it's very much like a mountain town, like here in the States. The extremely high elevation doesn't get really hot in the summer or anything. So it was like in the low 70s when we were there. It was really nice. So my experience was good. Would everyone say that? I don't know, but mine was good, and I'm excited to go back. And I think it'll be a good stop on our schedule.
So there were 2 things from that trip that I saw for you and the other drivers, where I was like, I wonder what Daniel's going to do. One was eating tacos. So he's like, eat this taco. Did he like put anything hot on it, or was like he was good about it?
No, I think he knew. I think he knows enough about us to know where to stop. But no, it was seriously. I mean, I really didn't know what to think. You hear a lot of things about Mexico City, right, and how unsafe it is, and so on and so forth. But my experience was not like that. I thought it was all really good, and I'm looking forward to getting back down there. Daniel was thankfully nice to us in the food category, but everything we tried, which when I go places like that, I really do try hard to like eat the local foods, like try new things, and so I did, and there was nothing I tried that I didn't like. It was all pretty straightforward. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Awesome. That's great. The other one was the Mexican wrestling. And I don't know what happened that didn't get posted on social media, but I was really impressed. I was like, wow, these guys are getting in the ring with some luchadors. I was like, we're going to have some wrestling going on.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect with that. My only disappointing thought with all of that is we didn't get there soon enough, because I could see that being a lot of fun. We got there and the last match was going on, and we had a blast. So I could have seen that being really fun for us, especially with the crowd that was there. And then Ryan and Daniel, they got in the ring and they were practicing like these, wrestling moves in there. I thought Ryan broke a rib on the.
I saw that
on the thing there at one point. I was like, this is going to be a fun phone call to Roger at some point. But fortunately he recovered, I guess. I never heard anything else about it. But boy, I really thought he was down for the count.
When I saw that, I was like, oh boy.
It was rough. I think, those guys, when they hit those, the railing, it, moves and bends a lot, and I think he weighs like 100 pounds less than those guys, so it didn't quite move like he was thinking. So it was a good time though, for sure. If you ever go to Mexico City, I highly recommend going.
Yeah, yeah, and it's awesome. And the race circuit there is going to be cool. That's like 15 minutes from where my family's originally from.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah, so it's just right down the road. I think that's going to be awesome. I'm super stoked for it. I want to talk a little bit about some of the other trips. Like, you've been doing some really cool stuff going up to. I'm sure you don't get to wear it very often. So.
I do not.
Yeah, but you look good.
I try not to. I try really hard not to wear a blazer. I didn't really have a blazer time to wear one. Got to go and do some big hits and help promote the Braves are playing the Reds inside Bristol Motor Speedway here in a couple months, which I think is going to be really cool. The MLB and learn more about what they have going on. See their control center, up in New York where they make all the calls and when they go review plays, that's where they throw it to New York. We got to see that whole thing, so it has been a good run, and was excited to go and looking forward to whatever's next.
Yeah, Speedway Classic. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to be the host of Colossus TV for that event. So I'm like over the moon. I think that's such a cool thing, and it's nice to see NASCAR partnering with Speedway Motorsports and Bristol and MLB to kind of make all that happen. Let's talk about the racing. Texas Motor Speedway. What do you think fans are going to see today? Because again, we're now in the spring. We're last year's race, good race. What are we going to see today, you think?
Probably more of the same, honestly. I mean, the track has changed color. It looks lighter in color from what it has over the last few trips, but the grip level hasn't really changed. The speeds yesterday were really similar to what they've been over the last 3 or 4 trips, so I don't foresee it looking a lot different. I hope the groove, I really hope the groove will move up a little bit in 1 and 2, but odds are it probably won't go very far. And certainly 3 and 4 has migrated up some, so we'll see. Just anytime you're starting last, you just hope that you have options, because man, if we run around here in a single file line, it's gonna be a challenge. So I hope that's not the case, and we'll see. But got a beautiful day, so that's always nice, and looking forward to getting rolling.
I know it's going to be a good one. We're excited to have you out there. Final thoughts before you go. Gotta go do some other things here, but real quickly, the fans here and talking with them about the racing so far this season has been exciting, and I think we've seen a lot of different excitement go on. I'm curious from a driver's perspective, what do you feel about the racing so far this season, and what the fans have been experiencing?
That's a question for them. I don't know. For me, I think it's been okay. I don't know that it's been great. I think there's definitely room for improvement, and I think it depends on who you ask. I mean, some people I talk to, they're like, this is the greatest thing ever, and some people I talk to, they're like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So I've kind of heard all of it, and I think it's totally just your opinion. And I said the other day, but like, I think people complaining about the racing has just been like, that's just been something that has gone on for years. No matter how good or bad the racing is, I think some people are just always going to find something to complain about, and that's just part of it. So, true. See, it's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Can we make it better? Absolutely, it can always be better, no doubt. But I think that we have a pretty good thing going, and we just got to keep tweaking and keep pushing and trying to make the little things better, right? The intermediate stuff I think's been pretty solid. The short track side of things, I think the short tracks and road courses need some help for sure. And yeah, we'll just keep plugging away and keep racing hard and make sure it's genuine and we're all pushing as hard as we can every week. And if we're doing that, you're going to have a good race every now and again. You might not have a side-by-side barn burner to the finish every week, but that's okay because it makes you appreciate those weeks that you do. And I think that's just part of sports. So we'll see where it goes.
I love it. And I love that word you use, genuine. I think that's the key is if the drivers and the fans are being genuine and honest about it from their experience, then that's what I like to see. So I appreciate it. Hey, I got a couple of fun things that you can throw out to the fans here. These are soft cups. They're not hard. We weren't lying. We don't have a lot back here, but I do have a couple soft cups. So I'm going to just get 2 of these. You can hand them out some fans, and we'll play a little music, and we'll get ready for our next guest. Fans, how about it? A big round of applause for Chase Elliott.
Thank you. Have fun, guys.
So come on, let's make some noise. That's a good arm, man. I'll tell you what. Even underhand, you did a good job. I like it. Fans, one more time, a big round of applause for Chase Elliott. So stick around. We still got Chase Briscoe, Noah Gregson, Zane Smith going to be joining us here on the NASCAR Trackside Live stage. And hello to everybody out there watching us on the Performance Racing Network. Y'all get in nice and close. I got a couple more things to give out here. Let's see what we got. Where are you at? Come on up. Nice and close. All right, here we go. Well, let's go ahead and bring up our next guest. Y'all get in nice and close. Come on in, fans. Yes. Let's welcome him up, please. A big round of applause for Chase Briscoe. Come on up, Chase. How you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Welcome on in. We got the bar for you.
Yeah, I see that.
I know. Isn't that nice? We got bar stools. Have a seat and join us. I was talking with Chase Elliott. We don't have a lot of drinks back here.
Yeah, there's not much back here.
No. We're going to have to remedy that for the next time.
Yeah.
For the fans, not for the drivers, not for the hosts.
Yeah.
Yes. If we're working, we're just going to have some water. So, welcome to Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's like the ultimate weather for race day. This is like as good as it gets. So, yeah, I'm excited to race today. Yeah, I mean, can't beat this.
Yeah, this is awesome. So, I was telling, Chase earlier, I was like, man, I've melted a couple pairs of shoes here before.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it was last year or the year before that. It was a good 130 degrees, I felt like, outside. It was miserable. So, yeah, it's nice to be somewhere in the middle. I've been here when it's snowing before when we race, and I've been here when it's 100-something degrees. So I'm glad we're finally somewhere in the middle.
So as a race car driver, does the temperature difference outside matter that much once you're in the car and driving? Does it change dramatically, whether it's hot or cold?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, being outside right now or being in a sauna. I mean, it's kind of, one or the other. It like if it's 100 degrees outside, I feel like it's normally 125 to 135 in our cars. So, I mean, it's definitely hot. You don't really notice it when you're out there, like, actually racing. It's just under caution. It gets so hot just because there's no airflow and, your mind's thinking about it more. But, yeah, definitely, it gets hot in our cars for sure.
So I want to talk a little bit. First of all, I love the Bass Pro look.
Yeah,
You got the hat, the shirt. You're looking good.
Yeah, we're dialed in. Yeah.
I want to talk about that because I think that's such a cool partnership that you've got. And the story of you and Johnny Morris kind of getting together and saying, hey, we're going to be together on this. I want to talk a little bit about that and how that all came together.
Yeah, it's been super cool for me just to get to know Johnny and be a part of the Bass Pro family. They're such an iconic brand, first off, right? Especially here in America. So to be able to carry the Bass Pro colors every single week is something that's really, really special for me. I'm pretty excited. Next week we go to Kansas. I'm going to headquarters. I'm going to go hunting and fishing with Johnny and his son. So I'm pretty fired up about that. But yeah, it was super cool. When Coach signed me to come to JGR, he said, literally I signed, and the next day he said, we're going to fly to Missouri and go meet Johnny. And I was a nervous wreck just knowing that I'm going to meet Johnny Morris, right? Like you see his name on everything. And, sit down with Johnny and just told him my life story and told him just about how I grew up. And he literally called like 2 days later and told Coach, hey, I want to sponsor the whole thing. So it's me and Johnny just kind of hit it off. He was texting me this morning, so it's been.
What did he tell? Like, what does he say in a text?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'll read you what he said here.
I want to hear because that's Johnny Morris texting you. That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, let me find it here. He said, good luck today. Boys tell me you're coming to harass some of my fish and wildlife. It's going to be cool. He said, or at least attempt to anyways.
What a cool thing, man. He seems like such a genuine guy. I've gotten a chance to talk with him some in Victory Lane at Bristol, some other places, but he just seems like a genuine guy.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, people don't realize he's like top 200 richest person in the world. I mean, I think he's worth like $12 billion or something like that. And he'll come to the racetrack and he's just in his red Bass Pro hat with jeans on and just a flannel shirt. It's funny. If you ever hear somebody like doesn't know who he is, they're asking him, so what do you do? And he'll say, I just run a little bait shop. And it's like, man, it's a pretty big bait shop.
Yes, it is a big bait shop for sure. So when you go to Kansas, how many are you going to get? Like a couple days, or is it like a one-day thing?
Yeah, I'm going to go Thursday morning, and I'll go to headquarters, and then the Wonders of Wildlife Aquarium. I've never seen that before, so super excited to see that. And then we're going to go turkey hunting Thursday night, and then go fishing all day Friday, and then drive up to Kansas Speedway.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And then all the team guys are going to come Friday too. They're all going to fly in on the ARCA plane, I guess. And we're all the team guys. There's like 9 of us going. We're all going to go fishing.
That is so cool, man. Talk about a bonding experience. I'm like, let's all go fishing together with Johnny Morris.
Yeah, for sure on that. I'm definitely fired up.
So when that happens, like, have you guys gone fishing before?
I've never fished with them. Yeah, never there. And I've heard it's incredible.
I can only imagine, because there's got to be like scuba divers under the water, like hooking bass onto the line.
Yeah,
right?
I know that. So Noah went last year, and he was telling me that it's like fishing in a barrel, and like every single time you cast, it's just like a 10-pound, 12-pound bass. So I think my personal best is like 6.5 pounds. So yeah, I'm hopefully gonna blow that out of the water.
Dude, if you do that, we need to see that. That needs to be like
it'll
mounted.
for sure be posted on Instagram and everything.
Well, I want to talk about the fans here at Texas Motor Speedway. It's such a cool place. We love coming to Texas. How many fans are camping out here, or RVs, et cetera?
Yeah, there you go.
I love that part of racing, and especially here at Texas. I'm curious what your perspective is when you come to a place like this and get to hang out with these fans.
Yeah, I personally love it. And I will say this is the most, like, I feel like for whatever reason, you wouldn't think, I'm being from Indiana, right? Like, you wouldn't think there's a ton of Briscoe fans in Texas, but I always have a ton of fans here. Yeah, like, we literally just did the merch hauler deal, and I was blown away at the line. So I don't know why in Texas I have such a good fan following, but yeah, it's super cool every time you can. Yeah, there you go, Bass Pro. That makes a lot of sense too. So yeah, I guess they're just buying Bass Pro shops, and it just happens to be a 19 on it. But yeah, it's always cool anytime you can come to a racetrack where the fans are passionate, and certainly Texas is a really good motorsports community. Like, there's a lot of racing that goes on down here, whether it's dirt tracks or drag racing, and obviously here at Texas Motor Speedway, COTA. So there's just a lot of race fans here, and it's always fun when you can go to kind of different parts of the country that I always feel like are kind of underrated. Texas is one of those that has a really big motorsports following. Wisconsin's another one that you kind of forget about, I feel like, sometimes. So yeah, I always enjoy coming to Texas every time we come.
I've always thought, I'm like, could we rename Frisco, Texas into Briscoe, Texas, just for a day?
Yeah, let's do it, yeah.
I think that would be fun. You also, that's right, I know you had the Aggies partnership as well last year.
Yeah,
you got a chance to hang out.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that, yeah.
Do we have any Texas A&M, any Aggies here? All right.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's where my cousins went to school,
okay,
so I kind of have to pull for them.
Yeah, there you go.
That's part of it. So I also wanted to talk about NASCAR names. All right, so you hear somebody's name and you're just like, that's a NASCAR driver's name. And I love the fact that your middle name is David Wayne.
Yeah, I got two of them.
I feel like Chase David Wayne Briscoe is a NASCAR name. What do you guys think? Does that sound like a good NASCAR?
I don't feel like that.
Really? I think David Wayne just sounds like a really cool middle name.
You're the first person that's made me feel like it's somewhat cool.
I think it's cool. I do. I think it's cool. Do you not feel like it's a cool middle name?
I don't know. I mean, how you said it, I guess, did sound a little bit cool. I've never felt like it's cool. I thought everybody.
I'm just gonna walk around with you and be like, Chase David Wayne Briscoe.
Yeah, I honestly, I thought everybody had like 2 middle names growing up, and like I didn't realize that was like not a thing. But yeah, I guess it is a little bit cool. I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
heck yeah, man.
Only Wayne. David's not as cool.
David's my middle name.
But like the
so
Wayne,
cool.
the Wayne part sounds cool. I feel like
yeah,
John Wayne and stuff.
How did you get David Wayne? Like, is that a family name?
Yeah. So David is one side of the family, and then Wayne's the other side. So. on the Briscoe side, my grandpa's Richard Wayne, my dad's Kevin Wayne. So,
okay.
But I broke the tradition. My kid's middle name is not Wayne.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. You got to start new traditions.
Actually, yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. My first son's middle name is Wayne, but he has two middle names too. So I always call him by the other one.
So what's his?
His name is Brooks Wayne Cunningham Briscoe.
Oh man, now that sounds cool.
Yeah. So Cunningham is from Briggs Cunningham, who was like the only reason I ever got to NASCAR. He was the guy sleeping on couches for 3.5 years, and he was the guy that owned the race team, and literally he's the only reason I'm sitting here today. So he passed away a week before my son was born. So I always call him Brooks Cunningham Briscoe. I always forget about the Wayne part. So yeah, I can't believe I did that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's not like we're live streaming on PRN or anything.
My wife's probably gonna kill me.
We're not going to play that clip back. Don't snap that and put that. No.
Yeah, there
all right.
you go.
So I want to talk a little bit about this season so far. And again, I know, man, this is the top level of the sport, and it can be hard. But it seems like you've got a smile on your face. Things are progressing well. You're working well with the team. What are your thoughts so far this season?
Yeah, I feel like it's been like a B-, kind of C+. It's been a lot, switching to a new team, a new manufacturer. The cars drive so drastically different than what I'm used to. And like even yesterday, I qualified 22nd. I probably should have qualified 3rd or 4th. I'm not used to the car's potential being that high. So like I'm lifting at places where I normally had to lift. So it's been a lot. But for us, I think we've had 3 or 4 top 5s and 6 or so top 10s. And like from the results standpoint, for how bad I feel like we are right now, from as far as like how far away from our full potential, the results have been fairly good. So it's like, man, once we finally reach our full potential, I think we're going to be really strong. It's just taking a little bit more time than I anticipated. I just didn't think cars would drive that drastically different, truthfully.
Yeah, and I'm curious too what it's like on the team side difference as well. Like, do you feel now with JGR that what's the different culture like? What's that
way
like?
Different. Yeah, way different. Like, for example, at Stewart Haas, just the expectation, I think, was different, right? Especially the last couple of years. It changed the whole time I was there. But, like at Bristol, right, we finished in the top, all 4 of our cars at JGR in the top 10 a couple weeks ago. I think we were 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and like 8th. And you would have thought at the competition meeting we finished all of us 30th or worse. It's like, it was just like why are we so bad? And then you go to Stewart Haas. If we would have had all 4 cars in the top 10, like we'd have been high-fiving and thrilled, right? So it's just the expectation is definitely different. Harder for me, I would say, just like to understand the difference, right? Like if we run 4th at JGR, it's like you should run 4th. Like why are we not winning? Where at SHR, if you ran 4th, you're like excited after the race. Everybody's like, man, great day today. So just the expectation and
bit about growing up and to where you're now, because every time we've talked, you have, I think, a humility, which other race car drivers don't, about, hey, I grew up in a small town in Indiana. I'm super excited to be here at this level. Tell us a little bit about your background and growing up in Indiana and kind of coming up through the ranks.
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town in Indiana, town of 3,000 people. We had 1 stoplight. We reached the 2nd stoplight is because it was at McDonald's and the traffic was so high that they had to put a stoplight in there. But yeah, I grew up in this small town, and for Charlotte is kind of the hub for NASCAR, right? If you're going to be in NASCAR, you need to be in Charlotte, kind of like Nashville is for country music. So graduated high school and moved to the Charlotte. Didn't know but one person and told him, hey, I can pay you $50 every couple of months if you're letting me sleep on your couch. And so I did that for 3 and literally was giving up. I was literally driving home with half my stuff, and I got a phone call from that Cunningham Motorsports team and said, hey, we heard you've been volunteering at some different race shops. We're going to actually take this car to this test session in a couple of months. if you'd be willing to drive it, we'd love to see what you could do. And I thought it was a joke at first. Like, I thought there was no way this random team was just randomly calling me, right? And so I went there and started volunteering there, and Briggs Cunningham, the owner, thought it was really cool that, you know, I was sitting there volunteering all my time. And then at the test, I ended up doing, I guess, pretty well. And, yeah, he said, hey, we're going to run you in a race or two. So this was in 2015. I ran 2 races. They truthfully didn't go that great. I think I finished like 10th and 5th. And I come to find out, you know, Briggs lived about 2.5 hours from where I did in Kentucky. So on my way home, I called him. I said, hey, Briggs, this is Chase Briscoe. I'd never talked to him a day in my life. I said, would love to just come by your house and shake your hand and tell you thank you for everything. And he said, yep, no problem. Thanks, bye. And hung up the phone. And I'm like, oh, gosh, this guy wants nothing to do with me. But a couple weeks later, I drove up there, and me and this 87-year-old guy hit it off like we'd been best friends our entire life. And he asked me, what do you want to do next year? And I said, well, I'd love to run for the championship, but, you know, if you don't run me in 10 races, 5-1, even if you don't race me at all, I just can't thank you enough. And he called the next day and said, hey, I wired the money down there, and we're going to run for the championship. And we ended up winning the championship that year. And then I got signed by Ford to go through the ladder system of NASCAR, and obviously was at Stewart-Haas, then that shut down, and then JGR opened up. So, yeah, it's been a wild journey for sure.
Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Whoever was clapping, that's...
Noah Graxton's back there making faces at me, too, so...
Is he still wearing that sweat-stained hat? I'm telling you, we're going to have to steam that thing.
That thing's got some miles on it.
Oh, my goodness. I love it. He said he's not going to take it off until he gets another one, so
all right.
I don't know. What do you think about that? Here in Texas, again, we have traditions at all the tracks we go to, but I love the tradition here of you get the hat, you get the cool trophy, but then you also get now the big skull, the Longhorn skull.
Oh, yeah, the Longhorn deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Noah's another one. Me and him, like, love Longhorns. I don't know why. Like, we just think they're cool. I actually, in my house, I went to Buc-ee's, actually, and I bought one of their, like, skull Longhorns. And it's got, like some type of decorative stuff on it, and it's in our dining room. Literally, Buc-ee's Longhorn on the wall as soon as you walk into our house.
We need a photo of that. Seriously, will you post that on social? Because I think that's dining room attire by Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, it's literally like, it's at the head of the table.
That is so cool. You're just eating dinner, that giant Longhorn skull.
Yeah, they're cool.
They are cool. So talk a little bit about Noah, because Noah's rolling up right now. As a matter of fact, we may just, you know, have him come up.
He's all right.
He's all right?
No, me and him are good buddies. It didn't start off great. In 2017, we both were rookies in the truck series, right? And first race, Daytona, obviously, lap 2, I wrecked him. Like, tried to push him and turned him and caused the big one. Go to Martinsville the next week, I wreck him again on accident. And he came down there and was, like, yelling at me, right? And then, like, we'd obviously race together for the remainder of our Xfinity and truck career. And, like, I mean, we would talk, but we weren't, like, crazy close. And then we became teammates at SHR, and, like, we just hit it off. And now we golf almost every weekend. You know, a lot of, we have the same sponsors, like Rusty Rush and stuff. So it's, Noah's a fun one to be around. It's hard to have a bad time if you're around Noah.
I'd say so. How many Longhorn skulls does he have in his place?
I don't know.
I don't
know. He's definitely a big Longhorn guy, though.
He's over there signing autographs. You know what we'll do is, if you want to, we'll have you stay for one question. You get to ask one question, any question you want to know, and then we'll let you go. How about that?
All right, I got to think of something good.
Think of something good. So stay here for just a second. Fans, how about a big round of applause for Chase Briscoe?
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out.
And we'll go ahead and welcome up our next driver, and you get to ask the first question.
All right. So, I think I got a good one.
All right. Do you want to do an introduction for Noah?
You can do it. You're the professional.
All right, so here we go. Is he ready? All right, let's please welcome to the stage driver, the number 4 Ford, Noah Gregson. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
How are you?
Come on up here. Have a seat. Join us right here. I'm going to give this mic to Chase, and he gets to ask you the first question.
Can I ask him one as well?
Of course you can. He's signing an autograph here. Oh, I love that. Sugar Skull hat is so cool. I've got one of those. All right, here you go. First question for Chase, and then he gets to ask one back.
All right. I was going to have you tell him what you told the fan to tell me yesterday, but that's not really PG.
Yeah, let's keep it appropriate.
Keep it PG.
The question is tell the fans about the waxing crescent and how it affects the car.
All right, so We were on the plane up to Richmond last year, and Riley Herbst was making like his first cup, like his third cup start, but his first one at Richmond, and he didn't have a lot of experience, and he's nervous about driving a cup car, and he's wearing Chase and I out with questions all week long. Hey, is it gonna feel like this, or what's it gonna feel like? And Chase got on the plane, and he's like, Riley, it's a waxing crescent moon phase this weekend. It's gonna be gripped up this weekend. And Riley's like, oh, and he's bullshitting him completely. We're just making all this stuff up, and we're going back and forth telling Riley about how gripped up it's gonna be, and how we went to Atlanta one year, and it was, 3 seconds faster a lap, and he's like, oh man, dude, I'm nervous, like this is gonna be scary. And he went all weekend believing that the tire phase and the moon phase and the grip levels were up. So then we're like, that works so well with Riley. Why don't we start every week at the driver intro stage, start trying to convince other drivers that they're the wax and crescent moon phases. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't think a lot of people know what the moon phase is right now. And certainly the cup drivers don't. So we try to convince all new cup drivers how gripped up it's going to be today. So
who's next on the list?
Today?
Yeah, here. Who's next on the list for the moon phase?
We could probably get like a Jesse Love or somebody.
Yeah,
that's like,
Jesse Love's making one of his first starts.
Yeah.
We could get him for sure.
But the good thing is now we've got a couple enough guys on it that like now.
Now we just go, hey,
yeah, like
Ty Dillon, tell them about
yeah.
that.
And
they don't believe us. Ty, tell them about the moon phase.
so like Noah will be like call this person. So we're calling them and we're pick up and be like, hey, what about the waxing crescent? And they'll be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be gripped up. And then the people are like, oh my gosh, maybe this is real.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Wait,
How
I
about
got
a
a
big
question
round-
for you.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. One more question. Then
How
he's gotta
many?
go.
I got 2 questions.
Oh,
How many teammates have you had in your NASCAR career?
Oh gosh, I don't know, probably less than 20, but probably more than 14.
Who's been your favorite and who's been your least favorite?
My favorite's been Priest, and no, I'm just kidding. You've been my favorite.
oh.
And who's been your least favorite?
My least favorite?
The
Oh,
guy you just
gosh.
said or no?
Trying to think. On days, you.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm trying
That's
to
the
think.
best answer. Is he's the answer to both of them?
Yeah.
He's been the best and the worst.
Honestly, I don't
so.
know. I'd have to think about it. It depends because
You know.
they can be bad in a lot of different ways, right?
You know.
There could be a couple.
All right, we're going to let him go on that. How about it? Give it up for Chase
Yeah, see
Briscoe.
you guys. Thank
Chase,
you.
thank you so much.
It's because he doesn't invite him to the study session. That's the guy. Priest. Chase was the one who didn't invite him to the study session last year.
Noah,
That is a good story.
we got so many stories we can share here. Noah, thank you for joining us. Always good to have you on Trackside Live. I want to talk a little bit about cowboy hats. That for me, man, I know you have been wearing one in sweat stained, etc. It looks like you got a freshie there, maybe. Maybe that's not the one.
No, same one.
Same one.
Yeah, so we won Texas Motor Speedway in 2022. And so on the inside, it has the Texas Motor Speedway logo, and you get this in Victory Lane when you win. So whenever we come to Texas and Coda, and then we go to Nashville, the 3 cowboy hat places, I like to pull it out and have a little fun.
I love it, man. It looks sharp. And I was going to say, I thought, because last time I saw him wearing it, I was like, you've been wearing that a lot. I don't know if it needs a little cleaning or not, but it looks good.
I haven't cleaned it.
You don't want to wash the luck off.
I know. Hopefully I get a new one today. That'd be nice.
That would be nice. And they also now they do the Longhorn skull.
Well, they do the Longhorn skull, and I need a. Hold on, Chase is calling me right now.
Oh, he's calling you? Answer it. Listen.
What's up? He said, hey, no lie, the current moon phase is waxing crescent. I just looked it up. No way. All right, bye.
I love it. Our
It's a
weatherman
waxing
reporter.
crescent. This is going to be perfect. This is perfect.
Waxing crescent. I'm going to be backstage, too, at driver intros. I'm going to just, I'll be there to help. If you need somebody, just be like, Jose, isn't it? Yes, of course.
Jose knows,
that's
the
track.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, of course. I love
That's
that.
perfect. Is Jesse Love coming out here today?
No, we don't. We've got Zane Smith and Mark Faber. So Zane's going to be our last
Zane,
guest here.
I think we've already got Zane.
Oh, you've already got Zane?
This is my guy, Tim, right there.
What's up, Tim? How are
Little
you
man
doing, buddy?
waving.
Looking good.
Spent all day yesterday at Beefaroo, hanging out yesterday. That's the man right there. What's up, brother?
That's awesome. Well, I want to talk about that because you have got a great relationship with your fans. You go out in the campgrounds and sign stuff. You surprise people. What is it about, is it your personality? Is it something that you just like, man, I like hanging with them? What do you like about your fans and getting to spend time with them?
Well, I am a fan. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of other drivers. And although I am a competitor now against them, I remember going to my first race and getting my first autograph from Casey Kane was walking by. And that made me a fan of his. And I just remember that moment of how cool it was to meet, a guy who drove in NASCAR and how much I looked up to all the drivers and whatnot. So, I just feel like I'm just a normal guy who's very fortunate and lucky to be able to do this on the weekends. So, at the end of the day, Briscoe and myself and all the other drivers were just normal people. And sometimes we get put on a pedestal, but we all got our own challenges and at the end of the day, we put our pants on the same way everyone does, and there's bullshit that we deal with in our daily lives, no different than I'm 8 months late on my registration on my car, and I gotta pay that, and it's just normal stuff, and
I think if I was 8 months late on my registration, they would have impounded my vehicle a long time ago.
Yeah, it's not good. I hope I don't get her. I need to figure out how to do it. But then I'm like, I'll log in, and then it'll be like, oh, you need to go do this form. And I'll like, all right, I'm going to do this form. And then I'll get a text message, hey, you need to come do this. And then I get sidetracked, and then I push it off for a month, and now we're 8 months in, maybe 9 months in now that it's May. And it's a complete disaster.
Noah, you have my number. If you need me, text me. I'm happy to help you out, walk you through the DMV, and get you registered.
It's just I wish I could just, pay for 10 years up front.
Yeah.
Even though I don't keep the car for 10 years, I just don't want to have to redo it every single time or do, an auto redo or something.
See, same problems. We all have the same problems.
It's a pain.
It is a pain. It is a pain. Well, I want to talk a little bit about coming here to Texas Motor Speedway. This is wonderful. The fans are great here. Lots of people camping out. Where are my campers, RVers, people hanging out here at the track? Yes. When you're ever away from the track, do you get a chance to go, stay in a tent or an RV or hang out somewhere? Is that still something you get to do?
So I don't have a RV personally. A lot of guys, at least in Cup, they have an RV, but I can't justify spending all that money. So the hotel rooms that the team get, they're free. So I've been taking up golf lately, and I'd rather spend, I call it my motorhome fun for my golf clubs. And so I buy new golf clubs, a bunch of golf equipment, and it's a fraction of the price of what the RVs cost.
Yes, it is.
However, I do rent an RV for 3 races. The first one being the Daytona 500 because we're down there a week. Got a lot of stuff going on. And then the other 2 are both Talladegas just because it's so badass in the infield at Talladega. It's so much fun. If you guys have not been to Talladega, who's been to Talladega? All right, you guys know what yeah, there we go, Talladega shirt over there. You guys know what Talladega Boulevard is. That's America. You know what else is America? You go right across the street, you got In-N-Out, you got a bunch of Buc-ee's, you got everything. There's a little mini America, right? Or I guess everything's bigger in Texas. That's big America over there. Talladega's mini America. You got a bunch of good food places.
And look, we even brought Cracker Barrel right here. Look at that.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, where can you go to a Cracker Barrel at a racetrack except for here? It's
I know.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So let's talk about the racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. And, man, 2 great races so far this weekend. Looking forward to today. Are you guys looking forward to a good race today? Great weather. What do you think the fans are going to see out there today?
I think it's going to be a wild race. Have you guys been to the races last 2 nights here, last 2 days? So they've been pretty crazy. I know, stay out of the grass and don't wreck into turn 1 or 2, and you'll be better off than most. It's going to be a wild race. It'll be crazy. A lot of fun racing here at Texas. It'll start kind of, it's tough to pass here just because the track kind of starts, single grooved. And then as the race progresses, that second lane starts to come in, and you get some guys that are a little ballsier than others that start to work it up. And then once a couple guys start going good in that second groove, then kind of everyone gets up there, and it allows, different opportunities, whether you want the bottom lane, the top lane. I say top lane, it's really the second lane. There's like 15 lanes in turn 1. It's so wide. But, it's a fun racetrack. It's hard. You're right on the edge of the tire the whole time. It's really fast. You're almost wide open, if not wide open, through 3 and 4. So you're hauling the mail around here for sure.
It is. It's going to be a fun one to watch. I want to talk a little bit about the season so far. And, man, Noah, we've known each other a while. The smile on your face seems really genuine and big. And I'm thankful for that. And I know your fans love you. But I'm curious, why that smile, man, you just keep having fun. And I'm digging it. So thank you for that. And thank you for bringing some positivity to it.
I appreciate it. You guys keep me going, so I appreciate all you guys' support. It means a lot, and just can't thank you enough. Thank you guys for coming out. Now, regardless if you're a fan of mine or just a fan of other drivers in the sport in general, we appreciate you guys coming out and spending your hard-earned money and your time to come out here and support this series of NASCAR. So thank you.
Which, by the way, your first autograph, Casey Kane, he's going to be driving the pace car today. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I know.
Hell yeah.
So we might have to, I'll see if I can get you guys together out there on the grid.
I got to get a picture with him.
Yeah.
So I got a helmet as kind of the paint job on it. It's a replica Casey Kane looking helmet. So he was number 4 in sprint cars, and I'm number 4 in the NASCAR deal now. So I was like, man, I want to do a Casey Kane tribute helmet. So it's pretty cool.
He was your hero, kind of the first driver you started following. Do you guys ever talk, text, etc.?
No, not really. I don't know him very well. Clint Boyer was my guy growing up, and I was always a big Clint fan. I just loved how he just seemed like, when I first started watching, I was 13 years old and first started racing, and I was like, man, that's my guy. Like, when I get old enough, he'd be a cool guy to have a beer with, and now been able to. He was sponsored by Rush Truck Centers and Rusty Rush. And what's up? How are you? Rusty Rush. And so I've been to some dinners with him and whatnot, spent some time with Clint. He's a fun guy. But, yeah, Casey, I don't know him that well. I used to work out at his shop. He had a gym there, and I had the same trainer and would see him. I maybe saw him a couple times. But definitely love to get a picture with him. That'd be cool.
Well, we'll try to make that happen down there on the grid before you jump in and get rolling. Final thought, then I'll let you go. We got to go mountain biking in Vegas. So we've talked about it, but we're going to make that. Big mountain biker, he's going to show me all the fun trails out there. So we're going to go have a good time.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a good time.
I like
it.
Fans, how about it? A big round of applause for Noah Gregson. Noah, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Come on, one more time, Texas. Let's hear it for Noah Gregson. He's going to sign a couple autographs here. We'll get our next guest up here. So here to talk a little bit about racing, and then we'll also have Zane Smith right after my next guest. If you would please welcome to the NASCAR Trackside Live stage, General Manager here at Texas Motor Speedway, Mark Faber. Come on up. How are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. Look, we got Noah up here.
Everybody hear me? How's it going?
Noah still has... How are you doing, brother? It's good to see you.
Brother.
Thank you.
You know what? It's spicy, but it's not too hot today.
No.
Did you tell them where you got that hat and who gave that to you? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That right here. Congrats. Hope to do another one. Today. All right. Good.
Well, and I was telling Noah, I was like, he wears that hat a lot. And I was like, man, that thing looks fresh. I don't know, great hat partner you got there because those things look really good.
Yeah, that's American Hat, and the beauty of that is I was fresh on the job September of 2022 when Noah won, right? And so I moved back home to the great state of Texas from Las Vegas. I was at AEG with T-Mobile Arena, and I said, how cool is this?
You get the connection.
We got a little connection here, and gave him that, and he does wear that. I mean, I've seen him wear it all the time.
All the time.
Love it. We love you for that, brother. Appreciate you doing that.
Oh, man.
Like we said, maybe we get you another one here later on.
We know where we keep them. They're in Victory Lane.
We sure do. We sure do. So how's it going out here today?
Man, it's been awesome. We have such wonderful fans here at Texas Motor Speedway. We've had great guests here at Trackside Live. But I want to talk about the race fans because this weekend has been amazing. You and your team have done a great job putting together this event and dialing up the beautiful weather for us. So thank you for that.
Well, the good Lord is taking care of us. And look, we've been dealing with rain all week, and you know that. And so we got the truck in on the SpeedyCash.com 250 on Friday night, and our team did a great job of getting it ready, right? And then, of course, yesterday under the beautiful skies here, the Andes Frozen Custard 300, and Mr. Larson came through in OT and did that right. So that was a great one for those of you that saw that. It was great to have Kyle pull that one through, and there was a lot of accidents, a lot of crashes, and made that. And then today, about 75 degrees, sunny, nice little breeze. It's going to be perfect.
I have to ask you, because I think it's a perfect detail, is it's May the 4th, and you've got your little Stormtrooper pocket square. Come on. How cool is that, man?
So back in Las Vegas, where I worked at the arena, my nickname, so my name's Mark Faber, it was Darth Faber.
I didn't even think of that.
My family has leaned into that, and so I have Stormtrooper. I have all sorts of stuff. Have the Stormtroopers been by here today?
Yes, yeah. Boogie Storm was dancing right out here.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Boogie Storm was here.
Yes.
So we're leaning in on that. I'm looking for Chewbacca and some other people, but we got at least we got the Stormtroopers, right?
We did. We had a great time with, and I got to say, you have the exact opposite personality of Darth Vader. So you may be Darth Faber, but you're like the super nice Darth Faber. So
I like to think I'm Anakin Skywalker. So, but you never know. But we're having a great time with it. It's awesome.
Well, it's great to have the fans here. We got one more guest. Zane Smith's going to be joining us here in just a little bit. And thanks to everybody tuning in on PRN right now, watching live around the world. I want to talk a little bit about this race weekend and what you guys have dialed up, because we've got some amazing partners here, people that are doing such cool things here as partners with Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we're really fortunate to have Worth. So Dover and Texas Motor Speedway essentially swapped partners because of strategies, right? And so we want to accommodate partners, and so Worth is obviously, Worth 400 presented by Liqui Moly.
Thank you, Noah. How about a big round of applause for Noah Gregson?
Good job, buddy.
Come on. Thank you, brother.
So we have the Fort Worth 400 presented by Liqui Moly. So they're a great partner here for us as well, and that's been a big, big change for us. They've brought hundreds of people in town to guest and to entertain here. So we have those great partners. Chevrolet, as you know, Coca-Cola. There's a host of partners. Obviously, that's why we're drinking Dasani water, but they do a great job. What's really important is all the fans have come out here, and we're expecting the largest crowd today for NCS race in 15 years. Wow. Is what our friends at Speedway Motorsports have told us, and you guys are great to come out here. We really appreciate the support and what y'all do.
First timers,
awesome. Thank you.
12th track,
awesome,
but first
Georgia.
Time. Yeah,
fantastic. Thanks for coming. We have ticket purchasers from all 50 states in the United States and from 15 other countries worldwide, as far as Australia, Singapore, and then a lot of countries in Europe and Uruguay. So we have a truly international destination and crowd here today, and we think it's going to be awesome.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Well, I want to talk now that you've had a couple years under your belt here at Texas Motor Speedway and in NASCAR. What do you think about overall the fan base, the experience, and being a part of this family now?
You know, it's awesome, and you know, there's really no more diehard fan than the NASCAR fans, right? Our team is great. You can hear the helicopters overhead. Our team is great here at Texas Motor Speedway and the support team that comes in from Speedway Motorsports, but we love the passion of the fans. And we're in the emotion business. We're in the emotion business. We're in the passion business. We're in the making memories business, right? We have first here from Georgia that are going to walk away tonight, drive away tonight, talking about the memories that they have here. And we want to create great memories together. And so we are going to do that today. The track is awesome. I've learned a lot about racing in 2.5 years, and I learn new stuff every day. It's all about the driver and what he or she says about the track, right? So you get a Ryan Preece, who was I was just talking to him before another thing, and he goes, look, this is tough, but I like it tough. You know, I don't want it easy. I want a competitive challenge. Or Christopher Bell, C. Bell says, they asked him about, you know, there's bumps and turns between turns 3 and 4. Should they grind them down? And he goes, no, I don't want them to be ground down. I want it to be competitive, and I want the cream to rise to the top. Joey Logano this week at NASCAR and Sirius said this is a hairy track. It's a very fast track, right? And, of course, Jimmy Johnson, who Victory Lane's named after, said this is a treacherous track. So the drivers, most of the drivers like the competition, and then there's other comments from other drivers for one reason or another, and you can't please everybody. But we like the competition. We love the uniqueness of what this track means and the 1,500-acre campus that Bruton Smith, our founder, God rest his soul, Bruton Smith, the great man, and now Marcus and the family have taken over. But this means a lot to us, and it means a lot to the fans and the community, and we're proud to be a part of that.
You know, talk a little bit about that, because this facility is amazing, and yes, it's got an awesome weekend of racing here, but you guys have things going on all throughout the year. So for our fans, our first-timers, or people that maybe it's your first time here at Texas Motor Speedway, talk a little bit about some of the other things that you guys have going on throughout the season.
We're in the event business. We're in the fun business. So last weekend we had good guys here in the infield, and we had Pate swap meet on the exterior. The second largest swap meet in the country that Pate does is here. So we had tens of thousands of fans last weekend, and then Sunday we start converting to this week. Then tonight we're going to convert, and we have 3 more weekends of events coming up, which is going to be incredible. C10 Nationals next weekend, LS Fest the following weekend, and then Memorial Day weekend, Bandas y Trocas, Bands and Trucks, which is a Hispanic car, truck, music festival that's going to have probably 20,000 people at that. So we are constantly busy. It's funny you ask that, because people say, well, what do you do after NASCAR's over? You just kind of kick up your heels. No. And I know a lot of our hard-working team here that have prepared for this weekend. Do that. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to celebrate a great weekend, and then we're going to get back at it, and then we get through Memorial Weekend, and then we kind of catch our breath because it's hot and humid in the summer, as you know, and then we'll have some more events. But we're really fortunate to have a great team here. You know a lot of them, and then they'll go to other speedways, much like other Speedway Motorsports people are here today helping us, and it's a collaborative effort, and it's a great team effort.
It is, for sure. So if you are just here for the first time, come back to some of the events. If you're a Texas local, or even if you're out of state, there's lots of things going on. So come back to Texas. There's always something happening here. I have some great memories here, and for me, getting a chance to come to Texas Motor Speedway. This is where my mom's side of the family is from, and so I've got a lot of family around here, so I've had the chance to have them come out to the track. So this is a personal place for me. You know, I live in Tennessee, but I've always said Texas is my second home. So so getting a chance to come back here is special for me, too. I appreciate getting to hang out and be the host for you guys and be a part of the family. And I want to talk a little bit about that because what we've got here, again, yes, it's a business, but it's also the kindness that goes out to the fans, the hospitality, the level that you guys have. Talk a little bit about the team that you have and the folks that work here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Well, Bruton Smith, as I said earlier, our founder, one of his phrases was, "We work for the fans." So that's the mindset that we have. So when you come out here, we're hoping that all of our folks are saying, "Welcome to Texas Motor Speedway." They're having a smile. We know it's a long day. At least it's not spicy hot like it was a year and a half ago in September when it was 105, 110 degrees and people were dropping like flies. That's one of the reasons we moved to the spring. But our team...
Do we like that decision, by the way?
Do we like
yes.
that decision? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We think that you've embraced that through ticket sales and all the other things that we have out here, as you can see this robust fan zone. But you're exactly right. Our staff takes great pride in making memories, and we like having fun, right? We're funtertainment, as we call it. So our team works really hard at that, and they take it really personally. It's a collaborative effort. People have been here a long time, as you know. Some people have been here since we opened. We've added somebody that started here on Monday, and so we have a great cross-section of people. She's drinking through a fire hose, by the way. But we have a great cross-section of people that have wonderful hearts. We follow, you know, Marcus Smith and the Smith family. You know, we believe in faith, family, friends, and fun, right? And so the 4 F's. And so as we try to do that day in and day out, that's how we try to reach out to people. We try to operate with grace, right? And there might be some moments where the grace is a little on the fringe, but we always want to try to operate with grace, and we try to treat people with that. And you can just see that in the staff, but we have 70 full-time employees. Then we have the Speedway Motorsports team that comes in from other facilities, and then we have hundreds of part-time people that have been here for a number of years, and it's really a servant mentality.
And it's excellent to see in action. We appreciate it. You all do such a great job of taking care of our fans. We love it. We've got Zane Smith coming up in just a moment. I want to talk about that relationship because I know coming on the last 2.5 years, yes, you're running this organization, et cetera, but it also comes with all the personalities of the drivers. So I'm curious what some of your conversations have been with drivers over the years, because sometimes it's stuff right they're like, well, this, and then other times they're like, hey, what about this? Can I? So what have some of your fun conversations been with some of the drivers over the years?
Well, it's
I know, I'm sure there's something
interesting.
Like, yeah.
I'll just say that we had an event early on with a couple of drivers in another series, let's say that, over at the go-kart track that we have out here. It was a kart challenge, and one of the PR folks, when I got on site, said, hey, the drivers would like to meet you. And so I said, sure, I'm new. I don't know anything. Let's go. You know, I learn new things every day here. And so I went up and met them, and the first thing they said is, what are you going to do about the track? And so, you know, we deal with that, right? When are you going to change the track? You know, we had 2017, we had the repave, right? And so coming out of the race that weekend, they came to me and said, don't touch the track. Don't change the track. This is the best race we've had in a long, long time. So it's tough to please everybody. Yeah. Marcus Smith, Steve Swift, as you know, look at what we do on the track day in and day out. Joey Logano the other day said, look, the track is curing. It's getting lighter, right? He says it's a tough track. I asked Ryan Priest earlier, you know, Ryan, what do you think? And he goes, I like the challenge. He goes, I don't want to go around single file in a race that has 4 lead changes, right? I asked Kyle Larson, And, you know, I'm probably not saying anything that Kyle wouldn't want to know, because Kyle has made some comments about this facility in the past that weren't really favorable. And he won last night, right? Which is great.
Which
so
changes the attitude of a driver. Will go, I like it.
I go, your attitude changed a little. And he kind of looked at me and kind of smiled, right? And he said, it's really tough to pass on this track, right? Now, he had just been asked to jump in midweek into an Xfinity race and not even knowing the car, right? No time to practice, so it's really tough to pass, right? But yet, he's such obviously a pro, great driver that he won, but we'll see how it goes today. So when you ask, like Christopher Bell, so C. Bell came in and did some of the DAP work and some of our media advance. People said, what about the track? You know, there's the bump in turns 3 and 4. Brad Gelly, PRN, was asking him this. Should they grind that? And he goes, no, I don't want that to be. I don't want him to grind it. This is my home track. He's from Norman, Oklahoma, for those of you that are maybe from Oklahoma. But
where are my Christopher Bell fans at?
Norman, Oklahoma, yeah. Norman, Oklahoma. Are you a Boomer Sooner?
Those fighting words around here, I'm sure.
Okay, sorry. Spencer Tillman, Oklahoma, is going to give the invocation today, so please don't boo while he's giving the prayer. But anyway, C. Bell said, no, don't grind it, because this is a competitive situation, and the cream will rise to the top on a competitive track, right? So the drivers say we control 80% of what happens in a race, right? The other 20%, there's, as you know, there's other things that go on. So we like to lean in on, this is a tough track, right?
Yeah.
We like to lean in on that. So whether Jimmy Johnson calls it a treacherous track or Joey Logano says it's hairy and very fast or whatever, you know, we want to embrace that because we want a competitive track. You know, one of the drivers said, don't make it like Atlanta, right? We did the repave in Atlanta, because then you just got another Atlanta, and Atlanta's one of our tracks. We love it. It's phenomenal. But this is a unique track, and it's supposed to be difficult.
It is, and that's what I like, too, and I think the fans enjoy, too, is variety. You know, it's something different. So I'm super thankful for you, your team, everything that you guys do for the fans. We appreciate you. We thank you for your time today, and you got about 15 seconds. What do you say to our first-time fans here?
Welcome to Fort Worth, Texas, and we're so excited you came here. So God bless you all. We're going to have a great day today. Thanks so much.
Fans, how about it? A big round of applause. General Manager Mark Faber. Mark, thank you so much, my friend.
Good seeing you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more time, big round of applause for Mark.
Oh, hey, by the way, Ernest has kicked on, so after Zane comes on, right? I don't know what your schedule's like, but you can hear Ernest out here probably.
That's right. As soon as we wrap up with Zane, it'll almost be time for racing. One more time, big round of applause for Mark Faber. Thank you for joining us. Next up, driver the number 38 Ford, joining us here on the NASCAR Trackside Live stage. Let's give it up for my man, Zane Smith. What's up, my friend? How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
It's great to see you, as always.
Yeah, as always.
Join us here at the Texas Bar. We got a little bar set up here.
Perfect.
I know. It's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out. Great for some racing.
I am so happy. I don't know about you, but I love coming to Texas like this. Like, this is perfect.
Yeah, I know. It's never in between when I come here, I feel like. It's always scorching hot or it's been kind of rainy. So, an unbelievably beautiful day. Perfect for some 400 miles around here.
Yes, this is going to be awesome. It almost feels like a little California.
It does. We're getting closer and closer to California, so it's super cool to kind of be, I don't know, closer to home. So I grew up in Huntington Beach, California, for those that don't know, but now live out in North Carolina.
Oh,
so.
Are you a California? Are you a Huntington Beach guy? I just saw you do the fish. Nice.
Nice. I've met some people from like Seal Beach and around there, but you don't typically hear Huntington, so it's cool to see some of those make their way out to a NASCAR race.
I love, if you've never been, it's such a cool town. It's definitely a surf town, skate town, But that was kind of your world growing up. You were into surf, skate, BMX, etc. So
Yeah, just being outside. I lived in Surf City, USA, so it was always cool being able to hang out by a beach. And now I'm close to a beach, but not nearly as where I was. I was able to 10-minute drive from it growing up, so that was super cool. But now my life is racing every weekend, so maybe when I'm retired, I'll be by a beach.
get back to surfing again at some point. Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about that journey because, yeah, you found yourself outside doing some other more Huntington Beachish type sports. But when was that moment where you were like, oh, the wheel of a race car is what I want to be behind?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, my career goes back to all the way where I was born, I guess. I grew up just being around racing. Racing is all I've ever known. My dad was actually a fabricator for an off-road race team. So starting out, and then it's just all I've ever been around. So I've never wanted to do anything else. And yeah, I mean, I started go-karting when I was about 7 years old, and then just tried to climb the ranks. I knew it was going to be damn near impossible to get to be doing this for a living, but I knew I'd work in the industry somehow. But I found myself racing legend cars, late models, the little track and legend cars, like right in the infield you'll see. And after that, yeah, late models, ARCA, a few Xfinity starts, and then I'd say I got my first real job in a truck in about 2020, and then won the Truck Series Championship in 2022, and that really kind of kicked the door down for me to get a cup opportunity. So
yes, that deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
The champion.
Thanks.
Here with us today.
That was a great day. I came really close to winning here in a truck, but have just fell just short. So maybe it's been leading up for a cup win. That would be super special.
Yeah, so the win here at Texas, just like any win at any track is special, but I love what they do here with the cowboy hat.
You get
with
so
the
much cool stuff,
I know.
dude.
It's like
Yeah, I know. You get guns and
They
and
just throw it all
hats,
at you.
everything. A cool every Cup Series trophy is always so dang cool. But man, I would love to take anything home. So that would be super special.
Yeah, so we were talking, Chase Briscoe, has one of those skulls that he hung on his wall.
Yep.
I'm like, so if you got the Longhorn skull, where would you put
right in the living room? Right in the living room, yeah. I just got a new house, so I move in there, so in, I don't know, the middle of the month, I guess, and that would be the perfect addition to some home decor, and I could definitely convince the wife on that one.
Oh, you think she'd be all right?
She's not going to have much of an option, but it would be getting hung up.
You'd be like, this is going right here.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Well, and then, of course, Noah Gregson was here earlier. He got the hat. He wears that thing all the time.
Yeah, you never know what Noah's going to be wearing. I did an appearance earlier with him today up in the Rush Suite, and yeah, he's lost his voice for the past. Yeah, he's lost his voice for the past week, so I haven't been able to understand a single word he's been saying for the past week, which is kind of nice because he is a talkative fella. So yeah, maybe he could lose his voice a little more often.
We need to figure out how to make that happen. Yeah. I could see that. You talk about that dynamic because this new team that's kind of come together, and what's it like having those relationships now with folks like Noah?
Yeah, so Noah, I mean, man, we go way back. We're really, really close friends. He was actually a groomsman in my wedding, and we were teammates in legend cars when we were about 12, 13 years old, raced together a lot, and then he spent a lot of his career in the Xfinity Series. I spent a lot of my career in the Truck Series, and then we kind of competed against each other in Cup, and then I did not expect we would ever be teammates, so it has been so cool to be teammates, not only with Noah, but with Todd, just a couple really close friends. So it's not always like that. I feel like it's always there's that one teammate that you just don't really click with, if I'm being honest. And so it's been really cool to have a couple really good buddies. We're all going for the same thing, but we all want to see FRM continue to grow. We're running better and better every week. It's been really cool we got a pole last week at Talladega, and that was really cool for the 38 team. So Been waiting to, thank you. Been waiting to check off that, but also I really want to get that first win, so that would be super special.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about that, the team aspect, and now that you've got friends, right? Like, what is that dynamic like, being competitors and close friends? Because I'm sure that can be tough sometimes when you're on the track. Do you just like, okay, we're no longer friends on the track, we're just competing?
Yeah, I mean, we're at the end of the day, we're all competing, and a teammate is really tough. It's we all, like I said, going back to, we want to see the company grow. We all want each other to do well. Like, I'm going to be excited if Todd or Noah win a race this year, and I feel that's very mutual. And so we really do want the best for each other. But at the same time, we want to be the one that brings the trophy home. But yeah, fortunately, they are close friends, and we all are very similar in a way, and we understand that, hey, the weekends are work, but Monday is pretty much our only day off, and you got to kind of put behind you on whatever may have happened or whatever situation. And when it's a close friend, it's easier to talk to versus someone you really don't know. And so typically whenever we do have any kind of a run-in, we could not really, I guess, joke about it, but we could just kind of BS around it and just grow from it and try to be better the next time. So I'd say that's how our dynamic is. But yeah, we spend a lot of time with each other at each other's houses. Noah's house is a absolute disaster. It's filled with Legos, and he is a complete hoarder. So,
and apparently his car registration is 8 or 9 months behind. Like,
I'm not surprised at all. Like, I don't know if he has ever checked his mailbox, to be completely honest. So
he didn't get my Christmas gift. Oh, darn it.
So we're trying to teach Noah how to be a grown up, but we're getting better every week.
Speaking of pranks between friends, we had Chase Briscoe, Noah Gregson up here, and we were talking about how the moon phases can affect the racetrack.
Yeah, I've heard. This is Noah's go-to of the joke. This is not true. This is not true, by the way. But some of these engineers and people that are smarter than they should be, actually, it does kind of like catch their attention to see if it is real. But it is very, in fact, not real.
So apparently it is the waxing crescent. Is that right? It's the waxing crescent. So they're saying that the track will be grippier, and they're trying to, I don't know. They said that they tried to get you. Did you fall for that?
No,
trick?
As soon as they tell me, shut up. I don't. You're not getting me. So, but there are some people in the sport that it will indeed get.
I love to hear that. That just makes me happy that there are those little fun things going on. So let's talk a little bit about the racing here today, Texas Motor Speedway. Man, 2 great races so far this weekend.
Yep.
What do you think fans are going to see today? We just had Mark Faber on. He's like hearing from the drivers that this is it's a tough track, but we like the challenge. What's your perspective on it?
Yeah, it's got to be probably the sketchiest place we go. Texas is so fast, so treacherous. You're right on razor's edge, and that's why I think you see a lot of mistakes and just crazy things happen throughout the race. I think strategy can come into play with maybe some fuel mileage. I think fuel is always important. But yeah, long race, lots going to happen. I think the field at some point throughout the race is going to go through a rotation of guys that maybe can't break that 20th and up track position. The field might get flopped. So, sometimes there's guys that are in the mid-pack that have a really good car. They just don't have the track position. And I think at some point throughout the day, they're going to be able to show what they have. So we start 13th today. Had a pretty good car yesterday in practice. So I'm looking forward to see what we could do. And yeah, long 400 miles though. So beautiful day for it. Hopefully I get that first win.
You know, a first win here would be awesome, but also because you're wearing the right sponsor. Speedy Cash sponsors Victory Lane here.
Yep.
So they have like the big fire and all that. And let me tell you, it's hot. Like you see the flames, you're like, oh, is it really hot? Yes, they turn it on and it feels like you're in an oven in Victory Lane.
No, I don't know if our driver intro stage has this, but sometimes when we're behind the stage and they light this fire off, I'm looking at people's glasses to see if my eyebrows are still there. Like it feels like it's sizzled them right off. So, yeah, Victory Lane here is so dang cool. You obviously get the guns. It's awesome. But yeah, Speedy Cash is always done a lot around Texas Motor Speedway, but And then whenever you're the car and the race sponsor at some point throughout the weekend, there's that added pressure that you really want to just get that win for them and be able to celebrate in their victory lane with their car with them. That would be so special. I just caught the attention of that sign. Happy birthday, Crystal.
Oh, look at that. Happy birthday, Crystal. Yeah. To everybody watching online, happy
That's probably
birthday,
like
Crystal.
the nicest sign sometimes we see out in the stands. But, hey, happy birthday.
Oh, look at good guy, Zane Smith. I like that. I like that. Well, happy birthday, Crystal. Thank you to all our fans, by the way, watching on Performance Racing Network. And thank you for tuning in. We got lots more Trackside Lives the rest of the year. But would you mind helping me close out the show and saying thanks to these fans here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a great turnout today.
So come on up here to the front. Come on up
Yeah.
here. And I've got one more little Texas cup that I'm going to have you
Oh.
autograph and throw out. How about that?
Perfect.
Is
Let
that a
me
little
do
something?
it.
Here,
But yeah, thank you guys for everything. You're really what makes this sport so dang cool. Better hear a lot of you guys today at driver intros, and just hope you guys enjoy the show.
Well, guys, thank you so much. If you would, please, a big round of applause for Zane Smith, all of our guests. Thank you to everybody watching online. And let's go racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. Thank you from NASCAR Trackside Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jose Castillo, Trackside Live. Great job, Jose. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go street side. We're going to take it to the streets. They want America's Got Talent. We're going